Hey guys, it's ViewMasters Reactions, and we're back with Talks Machina, episode 42, A Hole in the Plan. I think I said it in the live stream or at the end of part 2, that the hole in the plan has to be talking about the hole in the floor in Avantika's room, as well as all the other holes that are in the plan, not physically, but that has to be a play on words, obviously. The hole in the plan, because the hole in the floor has created much of the chaos that is going on. In the end, we saw what happened. Caleb, seeing that Vera was about to find out, I don't know whether or not she already knew it. I feel like Avantika and Vera already knew a lot more than they were letting on. I said in the end of the episode how I feel like they were being like, I have to explain to you why you are the one who did it, because you're going to just play dumb and act like you didn't. So even though I know you're the ones that did it, I'm going to have to go step by step and show you exactly what is happening or did happen so that you don't have the option of saying, I don't know what you're talking about. And that's what we're probably going to do. But then Vera comes out with that spell and Caleb goes, Wall of Flame. Is that exactly what it was called? Wall of Flame, whatever it was. He lights up a wall of fire right through the center of the boat, separating us from Avantika and crew. Now, I don't know what we do. Do we immediately go into all-out battle? Do we flee? Because I was thinking, all right, here it comes. We're going to fight. And I'm assuming we're going to fight. But is there a chance that we just take off in the commotion and the fact that the boat is now on fire? Do we just run and let them put out the fire and kind of correct things? I don't know exactly, but it's not important because we're jumping into Talks Machina, which is definitely going to add more to the lore or the story going on. I saw Brian is back because last week Danny Carr took over, but I did see Brian was back. Wore my Caleb shirt because Caleb is the one that did the wall of fire. I don't know if he'd be on though, because I feel like recently we've seen a lot of Tal'dorei, Liam, Matt, and Ford. I feel like those four have been on rotation a lot. Sam used to be on a lot, but not so much, maybe once in the last couple. But I feel like the ladies need a show. I know Jester, aka Laura, was out for a while. I do remember Marisha not too long ago, but Ashley Johnson obviously hasn't been on in forever. But it would make sense if Liam was on again, or Ford, being it is a Ford-centric arc we're on. Either way, let's jump in. I want to know. You guys want to see more of what I do? Full on edited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons out of what you're seeing, hundreds of exclusives you only see on Patreon. The link is at the end. Dozens of shows you'll never see on YouTube. I just don't have time to edit it all. Doctor Who, Purse of Interest. The Patreon hour exclusive for every episode of Campaign 2. We also are doing one-shots and have done one-shots. And there are Patreon hours for those, as well as dozens of other shows. One Punch Man, Chainsaw Man, Steven Universe, Vox Machina. Season 2 is starting. The Last of Us in January. Check it out. Dozens of others, if not. Talks Machina, episode 42. A Hole in the Plan. I have the black screen up.
He's so loud. Crit roll stats for episode 42 come to us courtesy of our friends at
Crit roll stats.
Crit roll stats.
I literally, about
Jester
2 minutes before I jumped on here,
of the Trickster
was
31
messing around with
times.
Coco.
I feel like I should have cast it more
And
than
she
that.
ripped my
It
finger
always
open and
feels
I'm
that way.
bleeding all
yeah,
over
like,
the floor.
I don't use that shit enough. Keep
Live
going.
bleeding. And it was literally going into my
You
Caleb
mean you
shirt.
think
I
you
didn't
should
even
just
know
be
'cause
using
it's
it
the same
more
color.
often?
Yeah. Like, why not?
No,
She
There's
like
times when
rolls on
you're
her back
blessed.
and goes
It's
like
like
this.
freezies.
And I
Yeah, it's
kind of
freezies.
play
What's it
back
cost
with her.
you
She's playing
ultimately,
around.
you know?
She
It's
caught me
freezies.
just right.
Freezies.
Ripped my finger
15
open.
of those times were on not.
15 at a
Just under
time.
half.
I
She
heard
stunts
it.
the
Jester,
most. She does.
30
Yeah.
something times.
Jester technically won her bar brawl with Saurus.
Oh man, so cool.
Did you like that?
So good.
Jester
proud.
technically
If I could do
won.
Technically?
Technically, I won technically.
She dealt 16 points of damage to his 15.
One more point of
Good, so I
damage.
did win,
However,
even though I didn't.
I
by
discussed
point,
this
Yeah.
You
with
did
D&D
win,
people.
Mine.
People
even though
I
you
told
did.
you about
When
that
in
run
doubt,
campaigns for
always bar brawl.
a very long time.
Barbara?
And they said
Horns
horns are actually
blah, blah,
considered
blah,
some
blah,
sort of
blah,
type
blah,
of weapon.
blah.
I forget what the
Beau
wording is.
continues to have
But you're not supposed to
the
use
most
horns,
nat
which to me
20s,
is slightly cheating.
49.
What the fuck? You've got more nat 20s than I've said. Bless you.
But Something else she has more of than times you've said, bless you, is natural ones with 33. You're leading both
I'm leading
natural
both?
20s and natural ones.
I do. Well, because sometimes I'll roll like 4 times in a round with all those.
Yeah, we just
Your
watched
husband is also a tyrant.
the night before
not to be
Christmas,
dealt
right
with.
before this. She
He
rolled
makes you,
back
he
to
makes you
back
do a
natural
lot
ones.
of deception
I feel
shit.
like
I'm
I
happy
had
to see
real
we got
shitty
girls though.
rolls
I just
the
realized
other
we got
week.
Laura
Maybe
and
that's just
Marisha.
me.
I said we
feel
were
like-
missing out on the
I feel
women.
like you might be putting too much pressure on Gil's die. And
This is true.
because you do
I've been
comment a
laying
lot.
off of Gil.
You'll be saying things
I
like,
think Gil's die is cursed.
"How dare you? Why? What happened? Did someone sneak
How
in?"
dare you?
No, it doesn't. It
Every
doesn't
night they go
always.
into the die safe, though.
Maybe it's one of those things where you feel
You
you're
remember the
always
negatives.
yes.
It's
you're
like when
always in the
somebody-
slow lane.
Yeah. If somebody compliments you, you go thank you. But if they insult you, you're like,
I thought
it's in your
exactly
head.
that.
It's
Yes.
in your head. They got to you. That's what the ones are.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. I really enjoyed that discussion,
I
guys.
did as well.
Our first question of the night.
Thanks.
Um,
I'm just putting.
It's for me.
I have alcohol in front of me when I spray down the desk.
Carnal lesbian,
wipe
do
it
you
down.
feel the pressure to up your hosting
So
game
I'm
after
covering
Danny's
my
excellent
bloody
performance
finger.
last week? Danny, thank you so much for stepping in.
You were
Danny?
I
You were-
lied. I did know you had done it, and you were great.
Aw, thanks, Laura.
Look at Danny's
Why would you lie?
amazing
But that's
background.
even a worse thing to do to her than.
Because I like to lie.
Yeah.
That's
I could
why.
tell she was telling the truth.
I understand. I understand.
I could tell
No, when we
you were
went
telling the truth
through our
about lying.
potential list of people that could fill in for me, the only person that made sense was Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Millions called in, and there was a contest across the Marisha.
Millions of people
RB Rocky
can't do
wants
what
to
Danny
know.
does.
Beau
But I mean,
seems like a person
Danny
who
makes
naturally
sense
believes
to be
people
the
should
villain,
control
of
their own
course.
lives. So how does she view the Plank King and Dark Toe? Is it a free society or a monarch who just shrugs their responsibilities?
Oh no, I think she sees it as like a super abusive socialist society.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, which does not like sit well with Beau.
Yeah, that seems to rub her backstory the wrong
Yeah.
way.
It's almost like where, man, I don't want to get political, but I feel like if I even say things like socialism or communism, then things might explode. But yeah,
understand
no, it feels
what
like
you're saying, though.
definitely
Yeah.
like an abusive. Oh, did I have a hair? Oh,
It was.
thank
I
you.
thought it was in your
So
mouth, but it was just.
dang, it was
yeah.
attached. No, thank you. Yeah, no.
great.
Bad.
Laura rips her hair
Yeah,
out
bad
in the
people.
middle.
Yeah, just
Bad
fuck
setup.
you.
Yeah.
It's still a trap. I think is what Beau feels like.
By the way, everyone, before we go any further, these are in the store now.
Hey.
When
They
we
were
put out
wearing
the
them
other
last
ones,
time, I
said,
believe.
"These are the
Wasn't it
softest hoodies
Tal'dorei
that will
and
ever be."
Liam
I
had them
fucking
on?
lied.
I think it was
These
last
are the
episode.
I
softest
think
hoodies
these are
ever.
equally as soft as the first ones were. It's
How
just
do you
everybody
wanna
that got
do
the
this?
first ones, they've been washed so many times, so we forget.
Oh, you're
now that
probably
these are
right.
new again, they're just brand new on the.
You guys wash
This
yours?
is creepy. It's creepy.
These are available in the store now.
guys wash
These
your
are bullshit
clothes?
unless they're forward-facing. Laura,
Yes.
Miss
Yes,
Ginny
my
in a
dear.
bottle wants to know, our friend
Miss
Aki.
Ginny in a bottle.
Jester's crush on Ford has been pretty consistent for the better part of 30 episodes. But yeah, but
It's
this
all a lie.
week,
She doesn't really care about him.
okay,
Keep going.
well, no further questions, ma'am. But this week found Jester second-guessing her feelings.
Yes.
What spurred this on, and why did she seek the advice of Caleb?
What? Oh.
He's checking Pinterest
I know.
right now.
I look over at Liam in the corner. What triggered it was, I mean, the kiss, right? The kiss.
Right?
So, like, getting that and then going, wait, did it mean anything to him? Did it mean anything to me? What am I interested in at this point? Like, so all that thing. Like, I think back to, like, the crazy crushes that I had in high school, right? Like, Jester hasn't had a lot of experience with romance outside of what she's seen of her mom, and that's a very different view of romance, right?
Right.
So,
Yes.
like physical doesn't necessarily mean the same thing to her that emotional does, and she's just very naive with everything, so she doesn't know. You know, I think back when I was in high school or something, and I crushed on somebody, and when you crushed so fucking fucking hard.
Oh,
And
the
it's
devastation.
The devastation. You know, like,
every day a devastation.
just like
Every day
look
a
that they give, it's like,
devastation.
did they know
That
that
should
they
be
were
a
giving me
book
that
by
look, or were they just
Brian.
looking over here? Did they catch me seeing them looking at them like that? And it's so painful. And
It's like
so
Marisha when she gets a little too paranoid, if you know what I mean, and she's like, "Wait, what did you just say? Does that? Wait, hold on."
so
Thank God weed's legal.
okay.
Sure as fuck
Thank
is.
God
Are you
weed's
kidding me?
legal.
Wow.
So yeah.
And so's daylight savings time. We voted that in.
Yeah.
Daylight,
Well,
You'll see what
it's
happens.
a talk.
daylight
Laura,
shaving.
when you were
time?
in high school,
I don't know if I've ever heard of that before. I have
besides
thoughts and
Will
ideas
Friedle,
of what it is.
whose poster did you have up on your wall? Like, who were your crushes in high school that weren't like schoolmates
Han
or something?
Solo.
Oh, Hans. Okay, yeah,
Oh,
that makes
Han
sense.
Solo.
Yeah.
I paid my sister.
Han
Here we go.
She was
Solo.
an
Yeah,
artist.
oh, I
and
need
she was a really good artist.
This is gonna be a good
I paid
story.
her when I was 12 years old, $15 to draw me a picture of Han Solo and Princess Leia
And what were they
in like
doing?
the pose, like
Oh,
the
okay.
dip. And I still have it framed in our house.
Oh wait, I've seen that. Yeah.
I've seen
Oh,
it.
Yeah, I
that's-
paid her $15 and it was this
Brian's
big.
like, I've seen
But
it.
it's in a frame now at my house.
Well,
It's
inflation.
so good.
Yeah.
I loved Han Solo.
That's pretty amazing.
I was
really
thinking.
adorable.
Yeah.
That is-
We all know Chris Lockey
mean,
had Jonathan Brandis.
It's got to be
posters.
somewhat
Jonathan
good.
Brandis
I mean,
also.
it's.
Yeah.
I mean,
Had a big crush on him.
memories are
not
memories.
have gills
People
on
have all sorts of things,
sequence.
but to have it framed
Hey, Marisha.
still up at some
Ladybugs.
point, people would have took it down.
Chris Gatlin
Unless it
wants
was
to
actually
know.
very well done.
Beau has said
People display
she
things
will keep
all
Ford
the
in
time.
check,
After a couple of
but
years,
has kept
you take it
quiet as he
down,
got
unless it's like
sexually
that
involved with a
awesome,
zealot
or
cult leader.
that crazy a
Let's
memory.
not judge here, Chris. And partially embarked on a journey to release their serpent demigod. What exactly is the red flag for Beau? Did she simply trust that Ford was aware and would do the right thing?
No, I don't think she trusts that he's gonna automatically do the right thing, but having sex with someone isn't a red flag to her.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, look
think for
what
her it's
Beau's done. Beau's already done stuff like
Unnecessary
that.
violence.
Molly has,
It's
Beau has,
already
like
Beating
them
the shit
doing
out
that
of
has
someone
no
or
no
unnecessarily
connection to
bullying
that. I feel
somebody
like. I think she's
just
right.
because we can.
As far as Beau goes.
when we don't need to. Pursuing power to endless depths and fucking hot pirates, that's totally fine for Beau.
Yeah.
She just doesn't want to kill children.
It's interesting thinking about that.
No killing children as we pet
It's
Kiri.
interesting thinking about that and then the conversation that you and
I can never look at that
Caleb
Ford
had
bust and
about killing
not
people.
think of it floating around
That
and
was
being
interesting.
creepy.
Yeah.
And what kind of people, deserved to die.
To
and
die.
those are some of
Yeah.
the, I think so. Those are some of the defining themes of this campaign so far that
Yeah.
seem to have. I have a feeling it's because of the way that your guys' backstories are maybe inadvertently weaved together in a lot of ways. Well, not inadvertently, because I guess Matt is doing some of that massaging under the table. Hey, Laura.
Matt Mercer massaging
let's end my,
everyone under the table.
Thought there with the answer to this question from Jelly15. Liam has talked about Caleb's feelings toward Jester a couple of times. What does Jester think about him? Has she picked up on some of his backstory?
I think she can tell he's tortured.
But I don't think he's
and,
really given
one of
anything
the
up.
things that she wants more than anything is to not have people be sad around her, right? So
Because it makes her sad, or because she just wants them to be happy?
she just wants them to be happy. So I think more than anything, she wants that for him.
You seem pleased by that answer.
It's just so sweet.
It is so sweet.
It was
just
sweet.
love
And
this
Brian, the way
Yeah.
Brian
That's what a
paused,
Jester
it was
should
very
want.
sweet. It was a very
That's
sweet
true.
answer.
There's a reason. That's her name.
Yeah,
Hey.
It goes so deep. It's not deep at all.
so deep,
It's
guys.
pretty surface level there.
Danny, Marisha, surrounded by ladies tonight.
Yeah,
This is
you are.
cool. This is cool.
You like it.
My lady was here, but as usual,
She had to go
She
pick
left.
up dog food.
she could pick up dog food. Marisha, Crow-Footed Creations wants to know. Jester mentioned
Crow-footed.
that she was first seeking out Beau for advice about Ford and the kiss. If that had happened, what advice would she have given?
I've thought about this.
Have you?
There we
I
go.
deeply thought about this a lot.
Neat.
I don't know. I'm like, what would she ask? What would I say? Would she have told me that it was her first kiss? What would my reaction been? I think I probably would have had a little bit of like a, oh. I think that's what it been.
What's part of it, though? Would you have thought that for? Would you have thought it for the fact that she didn't know that it was a kiss? Or would you have thought that for that she...
Had never been kissed before.
Well, she didn't say that, but it's possible.
Right.
She
so
didn't
many
say
layers.
that.
Yeah.
It's- I feel like she flat. I mean, she didn't
think
say
it would have been a big
But I feel like
realization
it was
moment
that.
for Beau.
as close to saying it as possible.
Okay. I think she would have been game for it. Beau feels very close to Jester because we started together
Yeah.
and have been together, like us and Ford.
Yeah.
Pretty much started together.
Yeah.
So
That's right. Your session 0
Yeah.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know if.
yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
You got it.
I don't know if Beau would have given good advice, but I think she would have tried the best that she could have. But I don't know. I
Those moments are always the best when she tries the best she can to communicate. What's your charisma?
not great. Like 12.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool.
That's
not
what.
bad.
I think that's what mine is too.
Okay. Yeah. Not terrible.
Mary-
Oh no, my charisma is higher. My intelligence is 12.
Gotcha.
Mary in the home game I'm running, 6.
Yeah.
It's the fucking best.
That's what Grog was.
yeah.
Yeah, for
That's
intelligence.
For
six.
intelligence.
Oh,
though.
intelligence.
Yeah, that's charisma.
Oh.
Yeah.
Charisma,
So all of Mary's social
6.
interactions have all of us on the floor.
I'm pretty
every
sure
time.
Knott's charisma is like 5.
Probably. That
Yeah,
would make
she's
sense.
low, I think.
Yeah.
She's like a -3 or something.
Yeah.
It might be a -2 now. I don't remember.
Oh, God.
Not?
Reverse math.
Is that real?
Let's do
I mean,
GIF
I
of
do-
the week.
Gift of the week.
It's a winner.
Is it
a
a winner?
contest.
Of course it is.
Is it a winner? Oh, I
gift
guess
of the week.
technically he's right.
Yeah.
Everyone is a winner. Everyone is a winner. Is it a winner in my book? Is it going to make the top 10? I'll know pretty
week
quick
it's
at this
getting-
point
it's
because
getting
we've
worse.
seen so many of them.
Our winner for
I have a pretty
campaign 2,
solid
episode
top 10.
42 was sent in by Ropa-Doper.
Does
That's awesome.
Ropa-Doper
Ropa-Dopa.
break
Let's
Take a
in?
look.
I take a pinch of iron, sift
yeah.
it through my hands, and cast a spell. Reduce on Beau. It's good.
Just the
Doesn't
eyes
make the
back
top
and
10.
forth is so great.
I dig it. It's good. It's not bad. It's worthy of a win. Doesn't
so
break
good.
the top 10 though.
Was that like the
Congrats.
final moment reaction of
Congrats,
yours? Did you follow up?
Ropa-Doper, for winning this beautiful wormwood dice
Oh, God, that was
vault
so good.
tray
Stupid.
hopper.
Congrats to you, Ropa-Doper. You have won this.
Oh, a
Critical
t-shirt.
Role
Never mind. I was going to say it's the vintage tee. My bad.
Softest
I forgot we
thing
were
in the
doing
world.
vintage
Shirt.
Put the
tees.
logo on the
Tastes
back.
good.
It's tight.
I mean, I
It's
would
tight.
love any
That's
of it.
cool.
The Critical
That's
Role
cool.
tee is great. I've bought in a few.
This is
I've
available
bought a
now at
few.
shop.critroll.com.
But the
and
wormwood stuff is
shop
way more expensive.
.critroll.co.uk.
Like a wormwood piece is probably worth 50 shirts.
I don't.
Maybe
yeah.
not that many,
Sure,
but like
that's the
20.
international-
I bet you
Right.
You're-
one of the wormwood
thing.
giveaways is worth
What are you doing,
like
Travis?
10
I'm
or
doing a
15 shirts
show.
easily.
My keys might be in the stroller or they might be in the diaper bag, but I'm not sure. Just look in the. Just.
You
Just look
can't
in the
find the
pocket.
keys? You can't find the
doesn't want
keys?
I hear
Okay.
Travis.
Just stay here. Sit
Travis
down.
talking
whatever.
about
I
diaper
feel like
bags.
every one of us was here today.
Yeah.
Everybody was here today.
It's Ronan's bedtime. Yeah. Get home.
Except for Sam.
Nobody. Oh,
Sam
except for
was not here
Sam.
today.
Sam was the only
Yeah.
one.
But see, you didn't even miss him. You didn't know. Guys, our next question is for
Ronan.
Laura.
That's their
from
child. I heard Ronan.
Lisbrinian.
A diaper bag.
Cool. What does Jester think of the traveler's romantic advice? Does she doubt him now that he suggested she force Ford to like her? Or does she think he wasn't being entirely serious enough to question him?
She thinks that he always gives very good advice, but I think what it's crazy. This is the first time that he has suggested something that she wasn't
Okay
instantly
with.
like, yes,
Yeah.
let us do that.
This was the first time?
Yeah, she doesn't
was
question
the
him.
first
She never
time?
has ever since she was a kid. It's just been
Because
like,
he's never been wrong, or because she doesn't feel she's allowed to?
it's not about allowed.
Yeah, I just think you wouldn't
I
question
mean,
your deity.
the Traveler was her like best friend all through her childhood. He was what she had.
Unless there is a reason, you probably
it's
wouldn't
just always
question
been,
your God.
Hey, you want to go do this? You want to go?
but now
play
your
this
God
game?"
says,
Yes,
force
do
this
that.
person to love
and
you.
he's always
It's a
given
little
like really amazing
odd if you
advice.
care
And so
about
this
the
is the first
person.
time that he said, "Let's do this," and she was like, "I don't know if that's because there's something about it that's like I don't know. I don't want him to like me just because
Icky
I
feeling?
made him like me. I want
yeah.
him to like me because he wants to like
What
me.
if
but
you
how
could
do I
have
make
the
him
love of
wanna
your
like me?
life? What if you could
Usually
force
with
them to love you?
Different
Would
types
you
of emotional
at some
deception
point
or
not feel
medications.
horrible and
Yeah.
disgusting
But she
that you have
doesn't. She
forced
doesn't
this upon
question.
somebody?
She still isn't like the Traveler was wrong. It was just like
Unless the love of your life
don't know how
wants
I
to be
feel
with
about
you,
this.
then
Yeah.
by all means. I'm
Wow.
saying if you forced it upon them.
We think about
At
what do
a-
you think
at a
about this
point,
Traveler
you'd
nonsense?
get
I have
over
so
the
many
whole
theories.
thing, and
I don't
you'd
know.
be like,
I
"This
lay
is
awake
wrong.
at night going,
I'm
is
a
it the
piece of shit."
gentleman? Is it, some fucking weird ghost of Christmas past?
No, I think it's fascinating. It feels like Jester's imaginary best friend that took off and got a little bit of power.
Yeah.
And no one is sure why.
Yeah.
Like, what if you had an imaginary best friend and suddenly they were like, but I'm also a god? And you were like, oh. Yeah, like,
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that kind
I
of
don't
is
know. That's-
what
yeah, like
is
the
what is.
dynamic shift of going. But you were just my playmate.
yeah,
really?
we were just hanging
Like,
out. I thought I imagined you. I thought I was
Drop
the only
Dead
one that
Fred
could see you. Oh, no.
had the
Oh my
abilities
God.
of a
there's stuff I
god,
wanna say,
kind
but I
of.
can't say
Drop
it.
Dead Fred could do some
Please
crazy
do.
stuff, and he was
No,
real,
you're
as
free.
real as real
No,
could be for an imaginary
we let
friend.
people say whatever they want here.
No,
and we
spoilers right now. I'm
encourage,
not gonna say anything. No.
Marisha, Faye Lesbian wants to know.
Yes.
Fey lesbians.
Someone with the screen name Faye Lesbian asking Marisha a question. That sums up Talks Machina in the best way possible.
I love my life.
Beau's reactions during the hair compliment
Makes sense.
confusion seemed more vulnerable than usual. Is that a result? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a result of
Sure.
her closeness / friendship with the Mighty Nein? Shut up, Danny.
Never.
How Beau's relationship with emotional vulnerability changed over the campaign, if at all?
Sure. Yeah, no, I mean, I've kind of mentioned it before. A lot of Beau is a wall. And I think there is still this piece of her where she had this upbringing of probably being put in pageant dresses and told to be a lady and
Did she have a showbiz
make sure you
mom?
brush your hair like your hair is a fucking rat's nest.
Right.
My dad told me that all the time. Brush your hair, please brush your hair. For the love of God, brush your hair.
Blush.
So I think there was a little bit of that. Like, yeah, your hair's fine. And it's like,
I couldn't even say it right. I said a
do
third
I
word.
look,
Blush.
do I look
Blush.
ridiculous?
Blush.
Right.
Because I think at the end of
Blush.
it, Beau is like, do I look like a fucking joke?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
I've
know.
shaved my
That's
head.
if that
interesting.
makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
I
But
keep
yeah, a
looking
little bit of
over
an
here.
emotional
I
vulnerability
shaved my
that I
head
think she let
since
peek through, where
ever,
normally she
like
would
high
have
school.
responded
So
with
I
like,
never have hair to brush.
"Go fuck yourself."
My beard
Right.
is
or
always
punched
longer
in the
than my
face.
hair.
And instead, she was like, "Wait, what is that? Do you actually care about me?"
wasn't
Okay.
making fun of your hair either.
See, that was the follow-up question. C. Tennyson says, Laura, does Jester really like Beau's hair?
Yes, she does. I laughed. Me, Laura, I laughed because it was like the most random thing to compliment Beau on, I thought, because
Yeah, your hair's
like
really
it came out, it just came out as Jester,
Yeah.
and I was like, what a random thing. Like of all the cool things on Beau, like to compliment her hair. I don't know.
That's cool.
Yeah.
She has
Yeah.
a pretty fucking
a
cool
fucking
hair.
cool
though.
haircut, yeah.
She does, yeah. I just imagine, like
What was
that.
the,
She's
what
right
was the
here. I
inspiration
have
for
Beau
that
right
haircut?
here. The statue of Beau is right next to me.
It's cool.
It's cool.
It's definitely cool. I think there's a part of me that is like, man, I wish I was brave enough to rock an undercut and like, I don't
Yeah.
know,
It's our
Yeah.
be
excuse,
cool.
like
It's a bit of an
a chance to live vicariously through our characters,
Ready?
right?
100%. 100%.
I think Travis always
I-
wanted to be
I
some
would get
big
it.
green guy.
I thought it was just
With
sitting
gills?
there.
Who
It's
doesn't
underneath
wanna be a
some
big
other
guy?
things.
Gills,
I have to
doesn't he,
move stuff to
Ford?
get it.
What?
Ford's got gills, man.
Ford's
he's
got
got
gills.
gills.
They keep talking about Ford having
is?
gills.
I think, he's
I
some
think
kind of
Brian
water
brings
man.
this up on other
I know,
Talks
but he's still
Machinas.
kind of a waterman, though.
That doesn't mean you have gills.
He's like he's like, yeah, but he's like a genasi. Do water genasis have
It
gills?
wouldn't surprise
How do
me
they
if
breathe
he
underwater?
developed gills, but
Water
we would
genasi.
definitely have
They're
seen
half-
gills by now.
They're like made
water
up of water?
elemental. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Well, Marisha, save us from my vast D&D knowledge.
How does your brain work?
It doesn't. That's the
Oh
problem.
my
That's it.
God,
It
Danny!
doesn't.
You just
I pay
insulted
people
Brian's
millions
brainless
of dollars
mind.
a year to try and figure out what's going on in there. They say
Millions.
they always write the same thing down on the test results.
Your outfit
Crickets.
coordinates so well today, Brian.
You think so?
Yeah, because your shoes match your shirt.
It does actually. It's
got
the same
some.
color
Like it's a
blue.
really good.
Dope ass.
Yeah, it's a
And then I
really good
have, if you guys, I think, is this shirt still available?
No.
Well, we used to have this shirt of Matthew Mercer peering out of a vagina.
Oh my!
Just for the second to say, hey fam, Matt Mercer here, checking in on you this week.
You know what?
Matt
I feel
Mercer
like that. Like I
peering
didn't
out
notice
of a
it until like
vagina.
I
I
saw
didn't.
the shirt on somebody and I was like, it kind of looks like a giant vagina.
The night that we,
I like that it looks like a giant vagina.
I do too. I mean,
But
it's
yes, it kind of does.
it's the two things I love most in this
It's
world.
Matt.
vaginas
I'm
and Matthew
assuming
Mercer.
it's Matt Mercer in a
happy.
very
The night
to
we
be
filmed
peering.
the,
Big
I think it was the
hood.
first Honey Heist.
Like a
I had the
robe
shirt
with a
on, and
hood
Sam
or
goes,
something.
It looks like Matt's coming out of
or
a
it's just
vagina."
an outline around him
okay.
that's
Marisha.
prior to the shirt. Whatever it is,
Save
it
us from
definitely
your
does
husband
once you
being
point
born
it out.
again on my chest.
Matt Mercer
With an answer to
peering
this
out
question
of a
from-
vagina.
CD88.
I like that you asked if we had it anymore to make sure, like, am I gonna screw this up?
Well, I just didn't want to crash the website once I started, kind of
Yeah.
really showing it off. By the way, you know what else is great? Fucking Quebec.
Quebec, the
Sorry,
Quebec
Quebec.
mug. He got
So
from,
sorry.
I fucking love
Some people
Quebec so
from
much.
Canada.
I will drink that milkshake.
I'm assuming specifically
Marisha,
Quebec.
what was Beau hoping to get out of the back alley meeting with Allison? Why do you think her invitation was rejected?
Well, I think it was rejected because Beau is shitty and she's
We
used
asked
to
a
being
stranger to meet us in the alley. and
you
we had
Alice
other
on the
people.
note, didn't you?
I wouldn't have went either.
think-
If some
I don't remember her
rando
name.
was hanging out with
I think I was just like meet me out
somebody I
back or
knew,
meet me in
and
the
then they were
shit
like,
alley.
"Yo,
I don't
meet
know.
me in the
You kept
shit
forgetting to
alley."
call her,
Wasn't the
what's
shit
her
alley
name?
until
Tiffany,
you both
too.
got
Yeah.
back there.
That's
I was
true.
just gonna
That's
say I'm
true.
calling it the shit alley,
No,
but
I
it wasn't the shit
just
alley
wanted
till
to
we went
talk
back
to her.
there.
I thought that maybe we
and
could be
shit in the
allies
alley.
against Avantika, and if she hated Avantika and had dirt on her, that maybe we could team up. And basically, I wanted to.
You're doing some reality show shit right there. You're like forming alliances
Yeah,
to take
straight
out
up.
the.
I was like,
yeah,
if
you're-
she
5
is being
minutes left.
shitty, I can be like, yeah, she's shitty, right? And like kind of convince her to.
I figured that's where she was going. I didn't
do
think it was like we were
something
gonna
terrible towards
jump her or
Avantika. I was trying to make
sabotage
her
or
my
something.
scapegoat.
yeah, that was some big.
I
brother
assumed
shit.
that was
But
the
yeah,
goal of
100%. Some big brother shit.
Yeah.
But she
having
didn't
Allison.
go for it, so
Yeah.
instead of just shat in an alleyway with not,
Well, there's worse ways to spend a Saturday night.
it's fine.
shitting in an alley.
was that
with
noise?
knots.
Shitting in an alleyway with a friend? I don't know.
Yeah, we've all got to try it once. Just no, don't do that. We can't tell kids.
Don't try that.
Don't try that. That's indecent exposure. And
We have
probably 40
to
of the
stop
50.
this
How many
right
states are
now
there
because of the
There's
fact
still 50.
that children
like
might do it.
69.
There's 69. Laura,
Yes.
artists someday. Still waiting for them to get there.
Oh, someday.
It's been years.
Artists
they always ask
someday.
great questions.
you
Laura,
find- oh.
do you find it interesting that the Traveler didn't have anything to say about finding and releasing Ford's patron? I can repeat the question because
yeah.
you're giving me the 10,000-yard stare
Help me.
right now. Do you find it interesting the Traveler didn't have anything to say about finding and releasing Ford's patron? So Ford has a patron.
Yeah, I know.
The Traveler didn't mention finding and releasing Ford's patron.
Why would he?
Do you, Laura, find it interesting? Yeah, why would he?
Why would he?
Like the traveler
yeah.
doesn't really talk about other.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, but
Not
I
really
yeah,
interested in
it's
the
an
rest of the Mighty
interesting
Nine.
question.
Well, I talk to him about them, and he'll like say some things, but yeah, like he doesn't care about other gods or patrons. I guess I don't know if Ford's.
I just feel
patron
like
is a
we
god.
have
because
seen
he
and
ate all of
interacted
the
with the
other
Traveler
gods
so
because he's
like
actually the
infrequently
big
that
baddie? I
I
don't
feel
know, I
like
have
he'd only
some
bring
of
up
the
things that
Father.
directly
The
like
Dawn Father?
were related to Jester.
Okay.
The
That's
Dawn
just,
Father.
we don't need that kind of crude. Okay, this one's for both of you. From Varda's Weapon. Jester's infiltrations
Vard?
with Not are pure entertainment
We've seen that name
gold.
before, but not
That's
the weapon
subjective.
part. We've seen Vardis before.
What goes through your heads as players when these episodes unfold?
I've
First
said
of
it many
all,
times.
The rise
Jester
and
and
fall
Not
and rise again
is
of
my
Fluffernutter
favorite
has been
duo.
amazing to see.
Fluffernutter,
the
yes,
rise and fall
that
and
was one
rise
of the
and
great
fall.
ones.
Yeah.
I feel like if I could
That
have
is
any
always gonna
duo
be a good
over
gamble.
another,
I
it'd be
tried to do
Jester
it
and
justice
Not.
as Beau. You know when like your friend
Jester
is
and
trying
Not.
to be in on an inside joke,
Then,
and they're like,
if
yeah,
not
yeah,
for
yeah,
that, Not and
Fluffernutter.
Caleb.
Right, yeah.
That's what I felt as Beau.
And
It's just not
then
the same.
maybe
It's just
Jester
not the
Beau.
same.
I think it was amazing.
Not
No,
and
you
Jester
have been
are up there
on
with my favorites.
Fire,
of
by the
all
way, the
things.
past like 2 episodes. I don't know if I've told you, but it's been super choice.
It's the beautiful thing about playing somebody like Grog or like Jester is
Yeah.
the first thing that pops in your head, you can do it.
Yeah.
Sure.
You don't have to have a filter.
Right.
So it's usually the first thing that pops in your head is the dumbest fucking shit you could possibly do. So you just go for it.
Just
Just
go with it.
all the
I
like,
totally
the
agree. I know
tattoo
what she's talking
stuff
about.
with Orly.
I wouldn't
think
say
one of my
the
favorite
dumbest
moments
thing.
in D&D
I'd say the
history
most
is going to be you talking about seeing a bug
ridiculous
carry
thing
a
usually
piece of
comes to
bread
my
4
mind
times its
first.
size.
Like I'll
Oh,
just think
yeah.
of
I
like
don't know,
how
it's
could
just
this
like, man,
be
that's inspired.
the most
That's
ridiculous
inspired right there.
way
That's
this could
good.
look.
Yeah.
But then you make
So
sense
no,
of it
they
all
go
and
on
orchestrate
adventures
what
and it's
would
just like
normally be.
popcorn.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. I love it because
So
I don't know what
I
Sam's
would
going to
definitely
do.
agree with her.
And then it's so much
You
fun
never
to
do,
just
though.
like play off of it and just.
Whoever says like,
I'm not
yeah,
saying
I knew
everyone's
Sam was
heads
gonna
work
do
like that, but
And
mine
it ends up
definitely.
okay,
I feel like
usually.
Laura
It ends up okay, but it just
thinks
keeps
a
getting
lot
worse.
like me.
Like every
Her and
decision
Sam,
makes
that's why I think
something
I like
worse
their
until-
interaction
yeah.
so much. They're very
Until it's
quick-witted.
like magically all
and they're
okay.
So they just
Like,
Like that's, it
Fluffernutters
feels
out.
like it gets super bad, and then it's like erased.
We came around the other
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
Yep, yep.
It goes in a full circle.
Tiefling Ranger Marisha wants to know, Beau has often taken pride in
Tiefling
her criminal
Ranger,
past
Marisha, that's what it sounded like he said.
Hey, parole.
and mentioned that breaking into the captain's quarters would be her specialty. Was she disappointed and or upset when the team decided that they would send Jester and Not instead of her to the ship?
I'm not gonna lie. There was a brief moment where I was like,
FOMO.
a little bit of FOMO.
Yeah.
I was like, this is literally my thing, but I'm gonna see how they do.
Yeah.
And you did all right. Did all right. I think getting
Beau
my
did say, this is my thing.
breadth of knowledge in there and being like, check the walls.
That made a huge difference.
Turned out.
Yeah.
It turned out. So it kind of ended up being perfect. And so my original thought was, no, this is good. Beau has no magical way of escaping other than if she were to just jump off of the balcony of the ship
Which we
and
probably
swim.
should have done.
I thought that's what you guys end up doing. Is that
No.
what you-
Yeah.
No.
No,
You went through.
first we made a hole in the ground,
Yes.
fell,
Yeah.
and then we end up jumping off the ship.
The ship.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
we ended up getting
So yeah,
Like
in,
into the
in
water.
hindsight, I was like, oh,
'Cause
me
we were
jumping off
dripping
of the
with
ship wouldn't have
goo.
been that different than what actually happened. But yeah, I felt like I was there in spirit because my advice was heeded.
Yeah,
So it was great.
it's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Ryan, pull your shirt down.
Fuck you, dude. I get paid good money every week to show my nipples. Laura, dude, you can't show
Do you
nipples on
like
Twitch.
how I'm constantly like correcting other people's things? Like,
You're-
I'm always
you're
like, you've got a hair
basically-
on you. Like, get that.
No,
You're-
it's attention to detail.
You're
It's
motherly.
good.
You're acting
You're
very
just
motherly.
like my sisters. That's why I just pay you no heed. The Chris DV
I
wants
think
to know,
the
Laura,
fact
in
that she
recent
now has a
episodes, we have
baby is
seen
even making her
Jester
more-
flustered after
if
Ford
she wasn't
kissed her to
already
keep her
motherly,
from
she's
drowning,
pretty motherly now.
seeing it as her actual first kiss. However, she was rather cavalier about the idea of Ford
Cavalier.
having sex with Avantika. Is this a reflection of her upbringing, that she sees sex more as a means to an end and kissing as much more intimate?
Yes.
Also, Laura,
I would say.
is the question I just asked you the longest fucking one ever sent in by a... Come on, guys.
It's not.
Help me out a little bit here. Look at how small the goddamn writing has to be. Just find a way to... We like the question, you know, but just
In
find
recent
a way
episodes, we have seen Jester flustered about Ford kiss to keep her from drowning.
I think I
I
kinda
mean, yeah,
answered
they
it
could have
earlier, but
shortened that
yeah,
up. You could have said
Yeah, she
the
views,
Ford and Jester
Yeah,
kiss.
she views sex as something different. Like it's a transaction, right?
Jester was flustered
asking
after
me?
Ford's kiss. That could have summed up
saying it.
3 sentences right there.
I mean, the thing is it's
I do understand being specific though. There are
Like
so
it's a
many
way to
times
make somebody feel special.
I
if
see
that's-
people shorten
know.
things up,
She
and
has
then
kind of
like
a-
not
a
like so
different
many
view of
people
things.
are
Right.
like,
Yeah,
what does that
and
even
that's
mean?
fine.
I don't
It is
understand.
fascinating.
Then you
You're
got to
like a
explain
homeschool
it. It's
kid
almost
who
like just to save
ended up watching
explanation.
porn,
Oh.
but
Yeah.
because your parents filmed it. I don't
No,
know.
that's kind of weird. That's weird.
That is weird.
Wait, why would they
Yeah.
film it if they had a kid? They were homeschooling. Did they just put her in the closet? I don't know, Max. How did it work when you were growing
That is
up?
kind of it's this weird thing. Yes, I was in another room
Sacramento.
when
Yeah.
things were happening. You know,
Oh, that is
don't
true.
come out of your bedroom. That's why
That'd be
I
like your
didn't come out of my
parents
bedroom
filming a porn
like, ever.
Yeah.
with you in the house
stay in your
because
room,
you're
girl.
homeschooled.
boy.
What? I mean, it does
fine.
make
Noises
sense.
probably. Interesting.
But
let's give away some more free shit,
I mean,
shall
yeah.
we? Hey guys, it's fan art.
I want to think about it. So let's go fan art of the week. Fan art of the
I love
week.
it.
Where'd he go?
I love that
One
I could
second
see
he was there,
Brian.
and the next
He
he's
went to
gone.
like, I don't know.
Home. Yeah, I was gonna
Probably a
say.
good idea.
Leave.
This week's fan art winner for campaign 2, episode 42, was sent in by Jason DeBitt.
Why do I feel like it's going to be a
At
wall of fire?
JD
That's my
Illustrated.
guess.
So
Wall
good.
of fire.
Let's take a look.
Damn it.
Yes. Yes.
We got shrooms
pretty
with
dope.
Caduceus.
Yes, Jason.
It looks good. I dig it. Good job. I like the way Caduceus'
Show it
face
some
looks.
more, man.
Almost
Don't
looks like
show
a
me.
human
That was that's a
face.
Yeah.
Like it looks very
There we go.
human features. But like still like Caduceus.
She's
I mean, that's what
running to
Caduceus
go
looks like.
check
I
on
dig
the
it.
baby.
Ask me a question.
I love
Brian.
the way
Plenty of
Caduceus
questions.
next.
Right
has
now
the
we're just
facial
looking
hair.
at the art.
It doesn't
Hey,
go
guys,
around and connect to like
thank
a
you to
mustache. It
everyone
kind of goes
who
up and then stops.
Submitted. Congrats to you, Jason. You have won this Lacewood
Ooh,
tabletop dice tray
Oh,
from our friends at Wormwood Gaming. Man,
that's
this
right.
one's
They
really
split
pretty.
it.
Wow,
Wormwood
Yeah, the
is to
Lacewood
the
is
fan
gorgeous.
art as the clothing is to the
Sounds really
gift.
good.
I am a
So we go on
fool.
with
In my
you,
head, I
right?
like totally
You can
forgot.
enter our weekly contest by emailing your gift
my head,
or
I was
fan
just like,
art
what
to
happened to Wormwood?
submit
I
at
forgot that everyone
toxmachina.com.
gets
Rules for our
something interesting.
contest are available at critworld.com.
But if you equate the two price-wise,
Also,
you might want the shirt more.
contests
Maybe you get
are
more
only
use out of the
available
shirt.
U.S. and
But
Canada.
the Wormwood stuff
including
is hundreds of
beloved
dollars easily.
Quebec, you know they're naming a street after me there.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yes.
Look at
Well, let's answer some more questions,
Give me a
shall we? While
question.
someone paints you
Wait,
like one of
okay,
their
so
French girls.
I didn't answer the question fully that you asked me before about the kiss and the sex. And I think
Oh,
it's
Marisha
that,
had to pee.
Yeah. So, you know, she's always thought of them in one particular way, right?
Okay.
But now that she's like actually got feelings for somebody and she actually thinks that maybe she was kissed, like it's all kind of morphing in her brain.
What do you mean she thinks she was kissed?
Well,
She was kissed.
But like,
was she though?
So
was
you're saying
breathing
she's
air.
questioning the
Everyone keeps
she's
calling it
questioning
the
what was
kiss,
behind
like,
the kiss. If the
Yeah.
kiss was a means to an
forcing
end,
oxygen
or if it
into
was
her.
a
The
means to
kiss
trying to get up all
saving
up
her
into
life,
your
and
end.
she's like, the logical part of your brain is going, he was saving me, he was giving me
Yeah.
air. The romantic part of your brain is going, did he do it because he wanted to kiss me?
Yeah.
You know?
Was it like that with you and Travis the first time you kissed back in 1989?
When we were 8 years old.
when you were 8 years old, I was gonna say, oh, so they were. I'm born in
Is that
'81.
what it was like?
Same
our
year.
first kiss was really good. I'm not going to talk about it, but it was
No,
good.
I don't want you to talk about it. It's disgusting. It's like, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, no one
Sure.
will. No one will see this.
Nobody's
no one's
gonna.
see this.
Yeah, that's.
It's not live. We're
Nah.
great.
There we go.
Marisha running. I thought it was like, who's
Marisha,
that?
how you
You
doing?
gotta do what you gotta do.
Welcome back.
I didn't think I could make it another 20 minutes.
No, none of us will.
None of us will.
Hey, Knuckle of Vecna wants to know. Oh,
Knuckle of
Okay.
Vecna.
Too
Okay.
soon, too soon. Oh, it's in Joe's basement. Marisha, with what little we know about Beau's backstory, can you tell us how significant it is that she knows deep speech, or the reason behind why she learned deep speech, which is a fairly exotic language in most D&D worlds?
There are reasons. I'm trying to think if
I was
wanna
gonna
pull
say,
a
that
Liam
is-
O'Brien
that's a
and
good
not tell
question.
anybody.
And it
you
also
wanna
does
pull a true-
make you
Don't
think
give
why.
If you want to pull a true
look at
Liam, you
reveal.
have to
Have
say,
it
do you want
revealed.
Marisha to answer or do you want Beau to answer?
What are you talking about? Beau's totally a jock.
Yeah.
She is.
Wait, oh, do you
Beau.
have the flowers in your hair because you're in the forest?
No, because
I mean, it looks great either
these
way,
are
but I mean.
these are a preview for Honey Heist 3.
Yeah.
These
Oh, it
things.
is?
Yeah.
It looks like
Oh,
Midsommar.
shit, Easter eggs, y'all.
It's true. Plus,
This-
I wore them
mean,
for
I've seen
the
it.
shoot last night, and then I decided I really liked them.
They're really cute.
And now I'm just gonna wear
I'm
them.
pretty
more.
sure this is way before
leave 'em on.
Midsommar came
Max
out.
has had that wig on for 2
maybe
years
around
without taking it
Ryan
off.
Foster.
That is things I've seen in other times.
She always scolds him.
Eva Kukshin wants to know. That's not right. How did Jester
Eva,
really
we've
feel about the
definitely
plan
seen
of
this a
Ford
million times.
distracting Avantika? Did it make her jealous, or did she just see it as him taking one for the team because he had to?
I mean, it makes her jealous, but also
It serves a purpose.
it serves a purpose.
Is she worried that Avantika is going to come back and bite
Didn't
everyone in the
you
ass?
do this kind of stuff? I did this kind of stuff all the time. Whenever I had like a crush on somebody, I would tell my friends to go.
Yes, I was thinking that. I was literally thinking that.
You totally
you're like,
do that.
You're like, yeah, why don't you should totally go and hang out with Marion or something.
Yeah, and then they end up dating, and then you're like, why the hell did I tell them to do that?
Because it's like reverse psychology.
You want them to say no.
to be like, oh no, I would never do that, and then like look into your eyes like really lovingly and be like, I would never do that to you or something like.
It's jacked. Your brain does really jacked things when you have a crush on somebody.
Danny knew a lot
No.
about
You're
that.
so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Danny got very
like-
into that.
I don't want you. You should
Yeah,
totally hook up with him.
exactly.
Plus, like the
It
only
doesn't bother
thing.
me at
And it's
all.
whatever. If you want to, it's cool.
Right.
I don't think. Well,
Should I go?
First off, I'm not a girl, so maybe it's
Having
different.
girl talk.
I understand.
But I don't
I'm
recall that
not
ever
gonna
coming
interrupt,
up
but
ever.
also
I don't remember
do
ever
my drinking alone in the
telling
dark.
my guy
Head
friends.
start on it. Marisha.
Yes.
I like that girl.
Sure,
You should go.
Team
I know they're
Andy
not saying it
II
like
wants to
that,
know.
but I don't
Is Beau
remember ever
feeling that the
telling
Mighty
my
Nine
guy
is
friends
shooting
to
her
hook up with
ideas
girls
down
that
too
I thought
much?
were
It
attractive.
seemed that this
I just
episode
hooked
had
up with
most of
those
her
girls.
ideas and plans nixed
What?
before they got going.
Wow, I didn't think of it like that until you pointed it out to Mandy the second.
We nixed your plans? How?
I actually genuinely don't know what they're referring to. Danny, what are they referring to?
I mean, there were a couple times when it was more like there were several times where you've suggested things that have not seen follow through and stuff like that. It's been a while since one of the things that you suggested were actually acted upon.
Wow.
Man, I don't know. I feel like I should have a complex now based on what everybody else is saying.
I hadn't noticed.
Is that true?
But now I'll make sure that
You
I
shoot
back
down
you
all the
up.
plans.
Thanks.
Oh.
I don't know. I feel like it's
Well-
always a group effort, right?
I didn't really notice
like
myself,
around
but
here.
if that is
try
the
to find
case,
holes in each other's plans
considering
and poke holes in
the
it, not because
position
you
we're
want
in,
to, but because you're trying to
then
make sure it's the
maybe
right plan and
Beau
you're trying to think of all the stuff that can go wrong.
has left herself out of the
everybody's plans
equation
get
for
shut
being
down.
responsible.
Totally.
Sometimes it's
I don't
like,
know.
no, it's
We've
just not
gotten
gonna
into
work.
nothing but
Well, then- and
trouble.
also,
So
like,
if Beau
so
hasn't been
information
making the
comes to
choices,
light, man.
The whole
then
of
that's
the
a
plan
compliment
kind
for
of ends
Beau.
up becoming an amalgamation of everyone. Yeah, it's like what we deal with in production. Sometimes people are like, "Who
it
came up
doesn't
with
mean
that idea?"
that Beau
And I'm
was
like,
right.
I don't
but it doesn't
know.
mean
It's
other
hard
people
to
were
track
either.
because this one person said this thing, and then this person said, "What if it's this thing?" And then what if it's this thing? And then it just
You know
kind
what
of
we learned
becomes
though?
a thing.
It doesn't matter who came up with it. Chris Lockey's going to take credit for it.
It's
Chris Lockey.
Why does that picture of you look like George Michael?
That is the question
That's a
we've been
bust of
asking
Ford.
ourselves.
That's a
That is
bust
a
of
bust
Ford.
of-
Just like George Michael.
Oh, you're talking about. Oh, hold
That
on
is a
second.
bust of
Oh, God damn
Ford.
it.
Is it the picture?
Michael Tyson.
Is it the
Why does
picture we
Brian
keep
look like
showing
George
of Brian
Michael?
Foster?
You were here on the Halloween episode
I
because I fell
know.
asleep in the middle of one
Did
of
we
your
talk
answers.
about it looking like George Michael then? Am I just oblivious?
This is art, right? Someone
Yeah.
did this.
Yeah, this is art by
Yeah.
go to my
God, it
Tumblr.
looks like George
So
Michael.
good.
Look for Brian W. Foster on Tumblr, and you can see this.
Your Tumblr got suggested to me, by the way.
Well,
while
it's
I was
about
on
time you
Tumblr,
fucking
it was one
followed
of the
me.
like suggested ones, and I was like, God no, I see enough of that guy.
Oh,
You
jeez.
Tumblr
looked
is
like
MySpace.
Brian Adams.
Thank you.
You looked like George Michael. And when your hair is really creepy, you look like Crispin Glover.
Thank you. My hair's really creepy.
Crispin
like twice a
Glover.
month,
You're basically.
When your hair is
you can
really
only
greasy,
look like
you look like
dudes with
Crispin
two
Glover.
first names.
That, if you don't
yeah.
know,
though. Oh no.
is a favorite of mine.
Oh, no.
The great George
Yeah.
McFly.
Peter Jason.
Or
Hey, both of you. Question
Thin
from
Man? What was it?
Zeronium. Why did Jester choose
Charlie's
to disguise
Angels. I
as
can't remember
Molly, and what
what his
went
name
through
was. I've
Beau's
only seen
head
it a
when she
couple
saw
times.
him before realizing it was Jester?
creepy
Something we
man?
all
Sorry
wanted to
to see
know
that,
this
Beau.
week.
Yeah, just that. Just like, fucking really? Are you serious? It was her really good friend whom she feels super guilty about dying, and then the girl she had a one-night stand with. So it was like walking towards Beau, just a wall of regrets.
Oh no, yeah.
For past decisions. So that's where the fuck you guys came
Yeah.
from. Like, she knew exactly who they were as soon as she saw them, because who the fuck else would pretend to be
Right.
Molly and Keg?
What if did for a second she go, is that? No. It just
No.
instantly knew.
Just, yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Jester chose that because legitimately, like, not said Keg, and in her brain she was like, oh, Keg's so cool. Who's cool? Molly. was cool. And like just instantly thought like Molly was the coolest option that there could be, because Molly's awesome and Molly would want to be part of this, without thinking of, that is so
Right.
fucked.
Right.
You know, like when you go on Facebook and it's like, hey, remember when this happened a year ago? And it's like, bad memory, bad memory.
yeah.
That's what it was, but in real life.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was honestly because she was like, Molly was the coolest.
Sure.
But
It was good
yeah, it was a
intentions.
split-second decision that probably
Good intentions.
could've been
That's
thought
when
out
she
a little
turned
bit.
into
I get
Molly
it,
the
I get it,
pirate.
though. That makes sense. Caduceus is pretty cool.
Caduceus is fucking awesome.
He's pretty fucking cool.
He's the
man.
raddest.
He's the
Well, I'm
raddest.
thinking, like, if you're going to pretend to be somebody that you know,
Yeah.
because then you have a full fleshed out,
Right?
Yep.
right, detail of who they are. I don't know.
And
Yeah.
honestly, if anybody was gonna appreciate the fucking shit we were doing that night, it would be Molly.
Oh, for sure.
True.
He would
Yeah,
be
see,
so into it.
honestly,
Yeah.
because of the chaoticness of Molly,
Marisha.
I
Yeah,
don't think
so-
it's
Donald
too
Cheeto
morbid
wants
or
to know.
anything.
Donald Cheeto.
What was
Donald
going through Beau's mind
Cheeto?
as she was
Don
getting
Cheeto?
detained?
Donald Cheeto. Don
It was like
Cheeto. It's got to be a
yes,
spin on
it was
Don Cheeto, right?
frustrated.
Donald Cheeto.
It was. It would have been
Don
cool if I would have
Cheeto,
talked myself out of
Cheeto.
this, but in a weird way, I knew that was gonna happen. It was it was like part of the distraction, and when he was like, "Come walk with me," I was
That made
like,
it, so much better.
then I was like, this is where the challenge begins. So it was fine. In her head, she was like, yes, anything to get this guy away of what's going on. So it was kind of part of the plan, and oddly where Beau works best in her skill set.
What do you mean?
Being a dick.
Just
I was trying to get
just
to
right in this skill
I was
set.
trying
Being
to get
a
to
dick.
that gifable moment. Terrible. We've made some.
Comments.
There's been not enough vagina on the show tonight, jokes-wise.
Just
Well,
You went up and you went upside down. I like it. I like the. I like where you guys.
This is the used car salesman power vagina.
Okay, the used car salesman power vagina. I think I'm making a drink. I think I'm making a drink called that for Between the Sheets season 2.
Look at it, like,
No,
yeah,
they're
Laura's
like,
going like
look,
this.
the power.
I can give
I
you
mean,
a
used
good
cars
deal
is like
here.
this.
Power vagina.
Power.
It's gonna have
Oh
his-
God, they did a close-up of my power vagina. Yeah.
Florida.
It's gonna have as many ingredients as that goddamn s'mores
Make it a good
martini.
deal.
Wait,
I
if
love how
up is a
they're
power
like
vagina,
Laura's
then what's the
totally in
down?
on it.
I still feel
It's
like
just
this
two
is,
variations
I feel
in
like
power
this is the
vagina.
Up is the
thoughtful
power,
vagina.
down is the
The
flower.
thoughtful
Yeah.
one.
It's like a high five versus a low five. They're all
Okay,
great.
okay.
They're
It's
all
just-
great.
Vagina. That's
One of
good.
them's a
Let's
fist
continue
bump.
on.
One of
That's-
them's just a fist. I don't know.
This is more of a vagina, though.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Move it into the green screen area and let's see what the fans
I get
do
what
with
they're
it.
saying because the
Moving on,
point
let's-
is
Laura,
going down.
Something we brought up
I think
earlier,
it's just because
but didn't really get to.
Typically,
that Ford
that is
behind you is
like
looking
the
at Danny like,
form, like comes to a.
He always is.
An
He's
a
always
point.
trying to be
I
silent.
don't know
Just looks
though
at me
because
too. It's fine.
I don't know.
Laura,
It's
Bob
not
Full Shop
important, like they
Slop
said. I
wants to
think
know,
Laura
Jester
was just
seemed
like, I
reassured
can't
after her
believe
conversation with
we had a
Caleb
10-minute
regarding the ethics
conversation
of
about
killing
it.
that we brought up earlier. Would her opinion on the subject be different if she knew Caleb considers himself a murderer?
Maybe. I think. I mean, I know what I love is knowing that Liam doesn't want Jester to know what Caleb has done. You know,
Yeah, it's deeply interesting.
because of what he thinks her reaction would be.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would be what he thinks.
I've heard him talk.
What do you think?
It was just like on previous talks, right? Where he
Yeah.
was like, he knows that Beau could blow his cover at any fucking moment, and then he's gone. I'm like, Jesus, that's
but I think it's so interesting that
much.
Caleb is like, will think that like everybody's gonna like completely
Just that's it.
leave him. They're gonna leave him
Yeah.
at the drop of a hat, and without realizing how much everyone cares for him already.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I think
That'd be
in
a real
like
bummer.
in Beau's fucked up way, the only way that she can communicate feelings in her way is she's not going to say like, we all care
Did
for
she
you,
just
we're
sing
going to love
feelings
you,
like Kermit the
no
Frog?
matter what you've done in the past. Her way of saying that is like, I don't know, they might not care that much. You might be surprised, but that's not very
Yeah.
It doesn't feel
helpful
the same
at all. That's
Right.
not fucking helpful. So I can totally understand why he's like, no, they would hate that. And I'm like, nah, they'll actually probably be cool. They're not gonna care. And he's like, why would they not care about that? And what she's trying to say is,
They love you.
They love you no matter
Yeah.
what.
Yeah.
But instead she can't.
Irregardless, they love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can't dictate that.
Irregardless.
So she's just gonna be like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Oh, the mighty Nine, y'all are so stupid.
So dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, we're idiots.
Here's a great one, guys. Plushy Python.
Plushy
Try
Python.
to
This
hug
has got to be the
pythons,
last
kids.
one. I feel like this might
But
be
they
the
do hug
last.
back.
Maybe one more
What
after
went
this.
through your minds after Liam pulled Wall of Fire out on Ivantika? aka
Wall of
Tiffany?
Fire.
What the shit? Yeah, just that's it.
I honestly, I was so
It
glad
took
he did, 'cause I
all
was like,
show. I thought they would have talked about it. I mean, it was the last
My
thing
heart
that
was, like,
happened.
pounding,
Literally,
and all
the
of a sudden
very
he
last
does
thing.
That whole moment
Fucking
when we're being like
amazing.
led to the boat, it was like being called down to the principal's office.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
when, like, the
It was
principal's gonna
Literally
murder
was
you.
like, are they going to make
like,
us
this
walk
is
the
it.
plank?
You're
I
gonna be
thought we were going to
locked
get out on
away
the
in a
boat.
secret
They
prison
were going to
and no
set
one's gonna
sail
see
and be
you.
like, walk the plank.
Honestly, my first
kinda
thought
thing.
as soon as he did the wall
I thought I
of
was
fire
gonna get
was,
serious
damn,
pirate
I should have
shit.
kept those gems. That was the first thing I thought.
Yeah, then we all.
Why am I
shit
not
dumped.
surprised?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yeah, we
Only
ditched
thing
all
I
the
could think of
gems.
when you got those gems
Right.
was, oh, ground them up and give them to Orly.
No, yeah, that's. I definitely wanted that to happen.
One
Yeah,
badass
that's
tattoo.
right.
Too bad they're gone now.
Somebody had asked how hard was it to ignore your inner vex when Jester had to toss the jewels off the dock.
Oh my god, yeah, we could have. That's
There's so
right.
much- your
I didn't
inner
even
vex
think
is
of that aspect. I more so was thinking of all the money lost, but we would have had
Yeah.
so
We
many
thought in our
gems
heads,
to
we
powder
thought she was
dust.
gonna hang us by our Achilles' heels
Oh,
and
and just
shake
like-
us.
But
like a
how
bully.
fucking good that I didn't just do what not said and leave the haversack in an alley or something.
fuck
my God.
Can you
no.
imagine?
Oh, yeah,
Fuck
yeah, yeah,
no. With everything
With
that
the
we
fucking
had.
dodecahedron in there, just goodbye.
Nope.
No way. And it's bright pink. Like there's no way somebody wouldn't have picked that shit up.
Yeah, it's a little easy to spot in a field of grass or whatever. Somebody had asked about Professor Thaddeus and if you think, well, actually, if you hope that, you know.
I want him back
Yeah.
so bad. I'm never gonna see him again.
You don't think so? You think?
No
I feel like we
way.
might.
That owl is fucking god.
I feel like
Maybe
Matt.
we'll see him again.
I think if we
Maybe
make
he'll
it back to
remember you.
Maybe in the most
Nicodranas,
unlikely of places.
Yeah.
I don't know much.
I
about-
think
deathbed.
Matt
He's
will
gonna
bring
be
him
like,
back.
I think the minute we get back to land, you can be like,
Yeah, somewhere on land. If we get near Nicodranas or something, whoa! I feel like
I don't know much about owls.
We will get back to
he's like
Professor
your
Thaddeus.
Nymeria, your Arya.
Yeah,
And
he'll
he's
find
just
you.
off
that's really
living his own life, learning from the
giant
lessons that
packs
you
of
gave
owls.
him.
But one day he'll find you.
Maybe
again.
y'all will meet in
Nymeria
the
did.
wild one day, and you'll like look into each
And
other's
he
eyes.
won't murder me.
Danny, stop reading your fan fiction.
It's
I feel like
beautiful,
That's
that
why
might
she's got her
happen.
laptop
Well, I
open,
feel like
so
we'll get
she's
more
writing
than that.
fanfic
I feel
in
like
the
we will
middle.
see.
He's just gonna come
Professor
with this
Thaddeus
flock of
again.
owls and they're gonna gouge everyone's eyes out but ours.
How beautiful.
Or you're gonna fall off a cliff again, and he's gonna turn into a giant owl, and you're gonna fall on top of him, and that's what I think's gonna happen.
That would be
yeah.
So
quite
boring.
epic.
This whole time.
Yeah.
So badass.
It's the music, yeah. Well, guys,
I think
Amazing.
Sprinkle might be magic.
Sprinkle,
no
the
way that
squirrel.
thing should not be dead by
Sprinkle
now.
should be dead twice now.
Sprinkle
Like,
should be
I
dead
think Sprinkle
at least
has
once
some-
or twice.
Something going on.
No, we should take intravenous blood.
Okay.
Intravenous.
Like take some of his blood because he might cure cancer. I don't know. I'm real tired.
Yeah, that seemed. We
Sprinkle
got
has
there.
DM magic of doesn't want to make Laura cry.
I appreciate
Oh boy, yeah, maybe it would be too much, right? All at once.
Yeah.
To be fair, that would have really sucked. 'Cause Jester was already having a really bad
It would have
day.
been too much. It would have been too much for Laura that day
Yeah.
if Sprinkle wouldn't have been. Yeah, it would have been bad.
You
Would've been a lot.
sobbing. You would have been like Danny the night that Molly died. Oh,
Yeah.
spoilers, guys.
Hey,
so sorry.
hey, that is
technical.
private information.
Maybe that's the only reason
Spoilers.
Sprinkles hasn't died, because he's not being played by Taliesin Jaffe.
Oh, shit.
Boy. Well, that's surely all the time we have for tonight. Stick around for Talks Machina After Dark. Probably going to be a lot more vaginas.
Oh.
Methinks with this couch.
Methinks.
On projectalpha.com. I would like to thank Laura,
Hey.
Marisha,
Yeah.
as always, the lovely Danny Carr, and our cameraman and Max. Is Max here? Oh, yeah. There's no Critical Role this Thursday, but we will be back
What?
with episode 43 the following
I have
Thursday,
endless
which is
Critical Role.
the
I have enough to last me every week for like 5
ninth,
years.
right? Yeah, 29th. 29th, coming back. Until then,
Sure.
don't forget to love each other. Don't worry, it's almost Thursday.
Stay turned.
Stay turned, my friends. Quebec is for lovers.
That is it, my friends, for Talks Machina episode 42. We did talk about the Wall of Fire right at the end. Last question. I didn't expect it to be earlier because of the fact it was the very last thing we saw. I have seen sometimes, I feel like, in Talks Machina where they talk about the most exciting things first and then kind of just jump all over the place. But I feel like we went in order of events. We talk about the Wall of Fire. They basically just said what everyone would have, I felt, thought. They're like, it was awesome. It was amazing. We knew shit was going to have to go down. The thing I didn't think about yet was Jester's angle of everything, where Jester literally just got rid of the gems. I totally forgot when we were walking around the side of the cliff. Boulder Gut was kind of around us, and she rolled to see if anyone was watching, and she dipped all the gems off the side of the cliff, and we saw them like tumble down into the water or something like that. Now, that wasn't that long ago. That was literally like, what, real time, like 10 minutes ago, not even. We went right onto the ship, and then Avantika started talking, and then Wall of Fire. So, we could definitely finish this battle fairly quickly. It depends what happens. If we run for it, then obviously we're going to just like jump on the mist or take another ship and get out of here. And then Avantika is going to be chasing us. We talked about it in the episode, how this is pretty much something we're going to have to deal with whether we leave or not. Because Avantika is either going to go for the apricot or the apricot tree. I think they called it the peach and the peach tree in the last episode, but it originally was an apricot, I think. Either way, if Avantika thinks we beat her to it, she's just going to go to the place that we got to bring it to, or vice versa. We can't be in two places at once. We're still going to have to deal with Avantika. Now, obviously, we are her enemy. We are going to go at odds with her, and we get Marisha and Jester to explain to us everything they felt during this episode. The gems was one I didn't think of. I remember when they were saying ditch the haversack, so I'm happy we didn't do that. We heard Travis's voice. At some point in the episode, I heard Travis's voice. He was talking about diapers and stuff. Ronan, their child, was there. We weren't even halfway through. And Laura was like, yeah, it's Ronan's bedtime. We got to go home. There was still like at least another 30 minutes of the show. And now they're into after hours, which is at least another 15 or 16 minutes. I think Ronan is going to go to bed very, very late this week. But hey, it's good to see that we got Laura back. This episode aired in December of 2019. I am currently watching The Night Before Christmas, and I think it is December of 2018, so maybe a good year to almost the day. I feel like it said December 18th. This is December 20th. Actually, no, it said December 23rd, because it's 2 days before Christmas. So December 23rd, 2018 was The Night Before Christmas. It was almost a year to the day before this episode aired. Point being that in that episode, Laura Bailey was also sick. She took off. She wasn't in The Night Before Christmas. They had their friend Julia Nathanson in it instead because of the fact that Laura, they said, now here's the only thing. I could be wrong because in The Night Before Christmas, the whole plot was that all the elves got sick and had the shits. They had like diphtheria or something, and they literally were just puking and crapping their brains out. I think that it might have something to do with the plot because we also had other things going on. I don't want to get too deep into it, but they go, yeah, Laura's not here with us because she also has the squirts. Now, that could have just been them embarrassing her and it's totally untrue. Or because it is winter and Laura apparently does get sick from time to time, like most people. I feel like it's just funny because we just lost Laura Bailey a couple episodes ago. Once she got pregnant, she was out for like a month and an episode, or maybe a month. Then a couple episodes later, she was out because she was sick. And then I jump into an episode that aired a year before all these, in the night before Christmas, and she was out again. So I think it's just funny that I've run into, by coincidence, all the episodes that Laura Bailey is out. So it's nice to see her in Talks Machina. We got Brian back. We got the Dandy Cam. We got all the ladies. I said in the beginning, we were lacking on the ladies. We have a bunch of guys of the last couple episodes. I mean, Ashley Johnson, at least I get her in the night before Christmas because I haven't seen her in a while, I feel like, except maybe it was Comic-Con or one of the New York live shows. Either way, you guys want to see more of what I do, full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons out of what you're seeing, hundreds of exclusives you'll only see on Patreon. The link is in front of me, dozens of shows you'll never see on YouTube. I just don't have time to edit it all. Doctor Who, Person of Interest, the Patreon Hour exclusive for every episode, the Patreon Hour for all the one-shots. Vox Machina Season 2 is starting in January, along with The Last of Us live action. We just started Centaur World, Steven Universe, My Little Pony. All of them, by the time you see this, are probably a good season in, maybe more. Check it out. Dozens of others. If not, comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.